Yo, what's good, y'all? So it's your boy Jakito, and today I'm gonna be doing a mix down of Julian's new song produced by Skyaz. Y'all can check out his album. It's gonna be in the description below. He got a music video out to this song as well, so if y'all want to peep that, check it out. So I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna play the song out. I'm gonna let y'all hear it for a little bit, and then I will go through it track by track. Julian's the type of person to love his shit just completely clear, beat banging, everything loud, no crazy effects like that. So I didn't really do too much, but I just kind of cleaned everything up. I'm gonna let y'all see what I did here after I play this shit out.
Yeah, turn me up in the headphones real quick. Yeah, it's one of the ones right here. You know how I get when I, really take my time to write some shit. They forgot how I do this shit. They forgot what I do for real. I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander. Ask me if I've been in the booth, I think you know the answer. If I could tell you the truth, I'm from a different planet, somewhere far away. If you a snake, then I might have to vanish. Look, put all of my feelings inside of these songs. At a crossroads, my spirit and ego ain't getting along. Ain't no tomorrow, I'm living the day for the present is gone. This shit is a gift, I'm pleading the fifth, and that way I could never be wrong. They try to attack, they sitting too far on the back for me to go and try and see where they at. I take it slow when I beat on the back. I always wonder why she getting attacked. They always wonder why I be in my bag. I never wonder why they going outside. Got tunnel vision, I'ma stick to the plan. They only hating when they know you the man. I might go cop me a Benz. They only care when you win, that's when they show you love. I held it down, girl, I was more than a friend. Now they can't even pretend that I was on the run.
Alright, so I played a little bit out of it. If you guys want to listen to the whole shit, I'll probably play it at the end, or you guys can go watch the video or hear it on his album. Alright, yeah, so on my print track, which is, basically my master fader right here, this is where all the vocals, all my instrumental, all that shit routes into here. I have my IM pusher and my L2 Ultra Maximizer by Waves, and then I also have just my media room plugin, which is the WLM Plus by Waves as well. So I'm gonna start with the IM pusher here. For the longest time, I did not fuck with this plugin. This adds a whole lot just by adding this shit on here. It kind of just tightens up the bottom end a little bit. It makes all the bass and the kick kind of like punch super hard. So on some tracks, this actually kind of like squeezes too much out of the whole shit and makes it lifeless. But on this track particular, I thought it worked. I just slapped it on here and just kind of fucked around with it. I thought it brought a lot of that punchiness back into the song. Like when I bypass and unbypass this, you can hear that the song kind of tightens up. They sound more put together and glued. When I first loaded it in, I just fucked with the stereo image, so this kind of spreads everything out a little bit. This little magic knob right here, it kind of gives you a lot of transients back, so this squashes the fuck out of the song. But when you play with this knob a little bit, you kind of add a little bit of life into it. You can hear everything kind of start to open up. The body, all it does is add a little bit of like kind of like the low mid-range harmonics into it around like 250 hertz. Like this shit kind of boosts it a little bit. And the push knob, I didn't really touch this shit because I do all my gain lifting on the L2. All I did on the L2 was I really fuck with this one preset. It's called you go here, you go to Dave Darlington, and you go to quick release master. I just kind of left it alone. I just played with the threshold till I thought, it sounded smooth without squashing all my shit and make my shit sound all distorted and shit. And then I use the WLM Plus. I usually have this shit bypassed because I don't do too much on it unless I need to increase the gain a little bit more. But I just, read the levels and make sure nothing's coming in too hot, nothing's all fucked up, nothing, what I'm saying? My relative loudness is just sounds smooth. I'm going to bypass and unbypass both these together as I play the song. You're going to hear a level jump, but you're also going to hear everything kind of get glued together.
Do this shit, they forgot what I do for real. I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander. Ask me if I've been in the booth, I think you know the answer.
So as you can see, the level does jump up a little bit. It really depends. Sometimes I'll use the IM pusher at the end of my chain just to increase the level and glue anything. Sometimes I'll use the Abbey Road. Sometimes I'll use this shit. Oh shit. This added hella latency. But yeah, sometimes I use the Abbey Road shit, the shit that you just saw right there. Whenever I need everything to sound kind of like rock fucking solid and in your face, this honestly does not do a bad job at that. So I fuck with that plugin a lot. Let's go to the beat now. I'm gonna leave the IM pusher and the L2 on for the rest of this mix down. Skyaz does a really good job of producing this shit. I don't really need to do too much in terms of EQ or level adjustment or anything like that. So all I did on his beat, I EQ'd, I added in, I think this is like 250 hertz a little bit. For anyone that's watching this shit and doesn't know what the fuck they're looking at, because I can see how this looks like rocket science. But towards the top here, you can see where it says filters and dynamics. Dynamics this is going to be all your compression and gate settings. Filters, this is all your EQ settings. So from the top, you have low cut and high cut. So what the low cut does, it's basically sweeps out all the bass frequencies. The high cut does the complete opposite. It sweeps all the high frequencies. At the top here, the red knobs. Here you have HF. So yeah, at the red, you have high frequency, you have high mid frequencies, you have low mid frequencies, and then you have low frequencies. On the beat, I didn't really do too much with any of these fucking settings other than the low mid frequencies, and I just boosted it up a little bit. So I'll bypass and unbypass that after I'm done showing you guys this Pultec emulator. So with the Pultec emulator, the Puke Tech by Waves, I didn't know this at first, but apparently Waves actually boosts your fucking signal by like 2 dB on some of their plugins. This being one of them, just by adding this on there, it automatically kind of boosts shit. This plugin itself, just by putting it on, you get a little bit of harmonics in it. So I just kind of threw it on there. I didn't fuck with any of the settings. I just let it boost it up by 2 dB and fucking let it do its thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just solo the beat out so you guys can just hear just straight to the beat and hear what these plugins are doing. So let's hear here. So you can hear it's definitely a lot more punchier. It was already a punchy beat to begin with, but I just kind of wanted to like really knock. Also, what I like to show you guys is this little effect that I did towards the end of the song. So a lot of the times I'm working with 2-track instrumentals, and with 2-track instrumentals, there's not really a whole lot I could do other than like take sections out and kind of, you know, fuck with it, filter it out or some shit. So what I did for like the last 8 bars of the song, I basically chopped his beat. So it was originally like this. But then all I did was I just chopped it, and then chop it, you drag it down, make a new track for it. All I did was I added it in lo-fi, and lo-fi is basically a distortion plugin, but also you could change the sample rate on it. You can fuck with the hertz on that shit, and it's kind of like a low pass filter. All this does is kind of scoop out all the high frequencies. I'll bypass and unbypass this real quick. I might go cop me a Benz. They only care when you win. That's when they show you love. Yeah. I held it down 'cause I was more than a friend. Now they can't even pretend that I was on the run. I do this shit a lot, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, bro. Like, I'm kind of bored of this shit. Let me see what else I could do to it. So I literally just pulled up some Sound Toys plugins. This is the Filter Freak 2. All it does is just like another EQ automator and shit. I went through the fucking sweeps presets, went through damn near all of these, ended up on the EIE plugin or EIE fucking preset. Whoever named this shit, you are a fucking genius. I guess that's exactly the best way you could really describe it. It sounds like it's literally doing a fucking type of shit. Unbypass and bypass this shit for y'all to hear this shit. I might go cop me a Benz. They only care when you win. That's when they show you love. I held it down 'cause I was more than a friend. Now they can't even pretend that I was on the run. So So as you can see, everything kind of gets like wishy-washy a little bit. I fuck with it. All right, so now let's get to the fucking juicy part. Let's go over the vocals. All I did when I was recording him in, we go literally bar for bar. So if he has stuff written already, he'll literally punch it in, and then stuff that he doesn't have written, we'll go like bar for bar for it, or 2 bars. It really depends on how it goes with us, but he likes punching shit in. So when I'm recording him in, I'll literally have this, and this shit is, you know, oh shit. But I'm recording him in, I'm dragging tracks down and shit like that. All I use is a Focusrite and a Shure SM7B with a cloud lifter. Honestly, this is a pretty standard vocal chain for those that are, you know, want to get straight into recording. This is like the most basic setup you could possibly have. But, you know, it got the job done. I just added in a lot of processing after it. He usually records with a little bit of auto-tune on there. I have a little bit of compression on the actual track itself just because I don't have any outboard gear. So I just throw on an RVox on there when I'm recording him, just, you know, kind of control everything off the jump. And then when I'm recording him, usually I only have this SSL channel, the EQ that I was talking about earlier, and just this compressor. So when you're recording in, usually to control your vocals a little bit, you want to have a little bit of EQ and a little bit of compression going on. So I'll go over these settings in a sec. And just a fucking Focusrite and a Shure SM7B to get the fucking job done, bro. Just like know how to mix your shit, know how to record your shit. When you're delivering into the mic, you want to make sure your vocals are kind of consistent, unless you're having a huge dynamic, you know, unless a song is supposed to be dynamic where it's like you need peaks and quiet parts. For this, Julian's straight fucking rapping and going in, so he's pretty consistent and he stays at a good distance from the microphone, and it makes my job a lot easier as an engineer to clean shit up. So going over his vocal chain real quick, or I'm gonna take everything off and then I'm gonna go one by one on what I did on his vocals real quick. Julian, please don't fucking kill me.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander. Ask me if I've been in the booth, I think you know the answer.
So all I did to start my chain was I added in the SSL EQ. All this does is, like I said, sweep out some of the low end, add a little bit of the high end. Same thing down here. I took out some low end. A lot of the low frequencies I like to take out, because if you add too much low end in, his vocals could sound way too muddy. And since the beat already has a lot of low frequencies, I felt like I didn't need any of this extra body from his vocals coming in. You'll see that we added back in later with the compressors and shit. But let me just bypass and unbypass what this does.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder.
So as you can hear, his vocals definitely get thinned out, but I just do that for a lot of the control on the low end, because sometimes the low end could be a little peaky, and that just fucks up my whole voltage when it comes into the master. And then it clashes with the beat a lot. So after that, I added in the Puke Child, which is this compressor by Waves. It is a Fairchild emulator. So the Puke Child 670 is one of my go-to compressors, just because I like what it does without having to do too much. There's not too many knobs that I have to fuck with. You can hear when I bypass and unbypass. With this thing not on, his vocals are dynamic as fuck. So you can hear low parts and then you can hear loud parts. With it on, you can hear that everything kind of gets glued together. So you can hear the loud parts get quieter and the lower parts are brought out more. And this also adds a little bit more body to his voice. You can hear the low end in his vocals. They kind of just, I bring a lot of that low end that we shaved out. I bring it back in, but more controlled.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander. Ask me if I've been in the booth, I think you know the answer. If I could tell you the truth.
You could definitely hear that I'm driving the fuck out of this plugin, and we're literally squashing a lot of this shit. I might have made that decision because the beat itself is already punchy as fuck. Driving this kind of brings out a lot of that harmonics and a lot of that grunginess and punchiness that I needed out of his vocals. And I'll bypass and unbypass it to see how it sounds cohesive with the beat.
I've been Working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander. Ask me if I've been in the booth.
So in context with the beat, it sounds like it just like sits right on top. Like it sits right on top. You can hear every consonant. You can hear everything out of his shit. That's why I fuck with the Pew Child so much, because like you can really push this shit. And as long as you know what I'm saying, like fuck with the output gain a little bit and shit, you know, have your shit set up right, it doesn't really sound hella fucked up. So after we squashed the fuck out of it and brought everything back up, I added a de-esser after it. The de-esser does exactly what it fucking says it does. It takes the S's, it takes all the harsh upper frequencies. I have it here selected at like 4200. Every time that the high frequencies come in, it's just ducking it. All it does is just makes the shit less sharp.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma.
So you can hear when he says self, like that shit is super fucking harsh and on top of everything. So I'll play it one more time.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma.
And then when I unbypass this shit, you hear that it gets kind of tamed a little bit.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar.
It tames all that harsh shit. And I honestly did that, and I probably ducked it hella just so you could hear all the high frequencies in the beat. Keep in mind when you're mixing vocals and the beat together, you want to take out and you want to make everything kind of fit together. So if you already have all these high frequencies in the beat, you don't necessarily want to add those same high frequencies into your vocals, or else you're going to end up masking one or the other, and then next thing you know, you're going to have a peak. And when you have peaks, you're going to be driving your fucking limiter at your mastering chain too fucking hard, and you're not going to get your song to sound loud enough. See, that's the thing. When you're trying to get your song to sound loud, at the same time clear, you got to eliminate double frequencies. So if I'm already getting 4K or 8K out of the fucking hi-hats and all the high frequencies in the beat, I'm not going to want to double that shit on my vocals. On my vocals, I'm usually cutting that shit. Speaking about cutting, the next thing we got here is my EQ. I fuck with the Pro Q3 heavily. If you do not have the fucking Pro Q3, it's still doable. You can still use the Pro Tools stock plugin. You could use the Waves REQ6. I use that shit later in my chain too. But the Pro Q3 is completely transparent. You get unlimited fucking bands, so I can literally EQ like a million fucking frequencies if I wanted to. And all I did with this is I just kind of like, when I'm EQing, all I'm doing is I'm taking bands. So say for example, right here, like I'll take this band as his vocals are playing, I'll sweep through like this. And then if I hear anything that sounds like too harsh or hurts my ear, then I'll duck it. You know what I'm saying? I'll duck it a little bit, like damn near like half a dB to like 3 dB. Really depends on how much you want to cut. You want to go by ear with that shit. Unfortunately, if you cut shit like this, you might be scooping out way too much shit, and you might be introducing like hella phase issues and shit. Doing something little steps like this, you know what I'm saying? Look, this is just 2 dB, 1 dB. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking 1 dB here. So I'm going to bypass and unbypass what this does real quick.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slant.
It's super fucking minimal. And I'm going to solo out these frequencies to hear what I've been taking out. And let's see if you guys can hear this shit. I'm going to solo his vocals.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal. My field of study was finding out who I am. Made me grind harder. Judge a slander. Ask me if I'm in the booth. I think you know the I could tell you the truth. Far away if you.
These are all the frequencies that I did not fucking like in his vocals that were hurting me when I was listening to it. When you drive the volume hella high, so if you're listening to this shit in a car blasting, these frequencies are gonna jump out, bro, and they're gonna fucking hurt. So, you know what I'm saying? Just turn these shits down, find frequencies, sweep through, find shit you don't like, and take it out. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I went in here with another compressor. This is the SSL comp. All this is doing is giving me back in kind of what I lost and took out. You know what I'm saying? I controlled everything. I did all my control. I did all my control with the EQ, the de-esser, and more EQ. And now right here, I'm just bringing everything back out, bringing everything that I lost back out, but more controlled.
I've been Working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am.
All right. After that, I'm going to kind of speed through this shit because I feel like y'all already get the point. Boosted some high end, took out the frequencies I didn't like again, and scooped out more of the low end with a high pass filter.
Working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends.
And then I feel like the vocals ended up getting thinned out a lot by my EQ. So all I did right here with the pull tech, I just added in 100 hertz. 100 hertz is right where the lower mid frequencies are. And I just boosted it by 2 dB, made it more of a wider Q. All this does is bring back some of the low end.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some.
So after I get the vocals kind of locked in, while I'm doing all that shit, by the way, I'm not doing it solo like this. I'm doing it while the beat's playing. I'm kind of just soloing it so you guys can hear what's going on. But I'm doing this shit while the beat's playing and shit. I'm going to play the beat out, and then I'm going to bypass and unbypass everything, and then bringing everything back in.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander.
Everything gets more controlled. His vocals don't sound too boomy. They sit right in the pocket. After I get that shit locked in, I'll go with my effects. So I'll go with my verbs. I have 2 different reverbs here, and I just have a basic ass doubler on here. So let me go with the first reverb. So for the first reverb, the Valhalla. So I'll bounce around between using the Valhalla or the R-verb. All I'm doing is I'm using the most, I think this is just like when you load it straight up. But yeah, I just used the basic ass Valhalla verb on this one, and I didn't do too much. I just added it in here, and then I played with the wet and dry fader. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'll bypass and unbypass the verb, bro. This shit is not complicated.
I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander. Ask me if I've been in the booth, I think you know the answer. If I could tell you the truth, I'm from a different planet, somewhere.
So as you can hear, it's not overpowering hella. It's not pushing his vocals too far back. It's just giving me that separation I need. So after I added that verb in, I'll take it to the second reverb that I added on. So the second reverb is another Valhalla verb, but this one is the preset drum air. I think I got this from Mixed by Ali. I was watching one of his videos and shit, and he added this shit on there, and it spreads everything so fucking nicely in there. It's crazy. Yeah, so I only added a little bit of this shit in here.
On myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost. On myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was
super subtle. The other reverb's doing a lot of the work for it, but this verb, I call it verb space. It just takes his vocals without drowning it out and spreads it. So let me take y'all on to how I did the double. So with doubles, it really depends song to song. Whatever vibe fits. I felt like for this one, I wanted his doubles to sound spread out. I'll go over his shit right now.
Working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. On that shelf, but I am not no scholar. Lost some hoes, I lost some friends. Grind harder.
So all I did for the vocal effects on the doubles is I dragged in all the same shit. So I'll literally copy and paste all the same shit from my lead vocals. I scooped out just a little bit more low end on the filter up top here. So on the de-esser, I scooped out more high frequencies because I didn't want to add too much back in. Remember what I was saying about frequency masking and peaks? I just scooped out more high frequencies because I didn't want it to be doubled at the same frequency. Back here, down on the EQ, scooped out more lows and more mid-range frequencies because, like I said, I'm trying to build pockets. So I'm trying to have the lead vocals sit right up front, but with the backgrounds, I'm trying to have that sit further back. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just scoop out pockets where I feel like frequencies are doubled. Over here on the compressor, I'm compressing at a higher ratio. And when you're compressing at a higher ratio, you're basically taking the louder parts and you're squashing it even more. And I probably did that just so it doesn't sound too dynamic because I'd rather have all my life, all my transients sit on my lead vocal, and then all the backgrounds, I feel like those should be more controlled. So I'll squash the transients on that a little bit more. You'll hear that it's just super consistent. Everything's the same volume. And then after that, I just added an ensemble. This is the Pro Tools stock plugin. It's an ensemble. All I did was play with the mix knob, and all this does is makes it sound. It's a cool phase. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a good phase. It's a phase that sounds that gives it character to the ad libs and shit. But for the lead, I wanted that shit dry. I wanted the ad libs to sound like more affected.
Working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. On that shelf, but I am not no scholar. I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar.
So as you can hear, it just like supports it in the back. It's not too overpowering. It's just there subtly. So for the ad-libs, starting from the actual track itself, I added in a compressor. And like I said earlier with the doubles, I kind of did this shit just to, you know, make sure that the levels are just even. You know what I'm saying? Like completely even. I don't want nothing to stand out too much. I don't want, you know, him to say a word and for it to be hella loud all of a sudden. I want everything to be controlled. Okay, so for the ad-libs, as you can see on the EQ, I scooped out everything on the high end, or the low end, I mean. I scooped out literally everything on the low end. I maxed this bitch out. On the Fairchild, I didn't do shit. Same shit as the leads. Added in a chorus. The chorus is kind of like the ensemble, except it's a different type of effect, different type of phase.
I might go call me a Benz. When that's when they show you love.
I pan things left and right. Like I said, I'm just trying to get shit out of the way of the most important shit. So I just wanted to get it out of the way of the lead vocal, get it out of the way of everything. So I pan it left and right, added in, you know what I'm saying, all the effects right here. Just same reverb as well. Here's what it sounds like with everything combined.
Know you the man. Yeah. I might go cop me a Benz. They only care when you win. That's when they show you love. Yeah. I held it down, girl. I was more than a friend. No, they can't even pretend that I was on the run. I know this life knock you down, but you can turn it around.
For this delay throw, it's fucking really simple in this verse, so I'll play this shit out real quick.
If you a snake, then I might have to vanish. Look, put all of my feelings in.
So this little transition here, I like to add little delay throws when I hear beat transitions and shit. So all I did here was I added in an Echo Boy Jr. to the actual track. I also dragged in, so it was originally like this, like it was all one vocal recording like this.
Vanish, look, put all of my.
And all I did was I spliced it, dragged it to its own track, added in the Echo Boy Jr. and fucked with the mix knob with the 8th note. And then I fucked with the low cut and high cut and all these little settings right here. It's just to get it to sound like this.
Look.
And that transitions the whole shit pretty smoothly right here.
The truth, I'm from a different planet, somewhere far away. If you a snake, then I might have to vanish. Look, put all of my feelings inside of these songs. At a crossroads, my spirit and ego ain't.
And then for the last fucking part, finally, we reached the fucking last part. My laptop damn near about to die soon. I already showed you guys what I did with the beat, but for the vocal effects down here, all it is, I scooped out more low frequencies. Skipping all this shit because all this shit's probably the same. It is indeed the same. And then I added in a REQ6 at the very end just to scoop out the high end and the low end, and then just to give me a really good telephone sound and effect. At the end of my chain, after I did all the processing, I also added in Panman. Panman, it basically is an automated panner, and it takes things and moves it from the left to right. You can see the signal right here. This is what it's doing the whole time. So also with my effects or my sends, same reverb, same quarter note delay, same verb space, added a little bit of slap delay, and all this shit is this right here. Look, let me just.
Yeah. I might go cop me a Benz. They only care when you win. That's when they show.
This is with it maxed out.
Yeah. I held it down because I was more than a friend.
And I just like had it
pretend that I was
barely on there. And then the doubler, and then my end delay. So the end delay is automated. So I drew in this automation. All you got to do to draw in automations is on Pro Tools. You got to go down here where this shit is at, and then you have all your control right here. So you have all your sends, you have your volume, you have your pans and everything. So I just made a new track, added in the end delay. When you add a new track, it pops up as a send, so it pops up right here. All I did was I added in the H delay, and I did this shit a half note. After the half note delay, I threw on a reverb. So I have that automation drew in. I brought it up only when I needed it on the end right here on that very last on the run. And then I let that shit fade the fuck out. So here's all the end sounds like.
I might go cop me a Benz. They only care when you win, that's when they show you love. Yeah. I held it down, girl, I was more than a friend. No, they can't even pretend that I was on the run. Yeah. I know this life knock you down, but you can turn it around if you just open up. Yeah. I got my head in the clouds, don't know when I'm coming down, baby, I'm on the run.
All right, so because I fuck with y'all and because I gotta probably wrap this shit up soon, I'm gonna go plug in my charger. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play the whole shit out from the top to bottom real quick so you guys can hear everything cohesive on what we all did so far.
Yeah. Turn me up in the headphones real quick. Yeah. It's one of them ones right here. You know how I get when I, really take my time to write some shit. They forgot how I do this shit. They forgot what I do for real. I've been working on myself, I'm trying to heal my trauma. Got a diploma on that shelf, but I am not no scholar. My field of study was finding out who I am. I lost some hoes, I lost some friends, but all that did was make me grind harder. Let my emotions run through, I never judge a slander. Ask me if I've been in the booth, I think you know the answer. If I could tell you the truth, I'm from a different planet. Somewhere far away, if you a snake, then I might have to vanish. Look, put all of my feelings inside of these songs. At a crossroads, my spirit and ego ain't getting along. Ain't no tomorrow, I'm living the day for the present is gone. This shit is a gift, I'm pleading the fifth, and that way I could never be wrong. They try to attack, they sitting too far on the back for me to go and try and see where they at. I take it slow when I beat on the back. I always wonder why she getting attacked. They always wonder why I be in my bag. I never wonder why they going outside. Got tunnel vision, I'ma stick to the plan. They only hating when they know you the man. I might go cop me a Benz. They only care when you win, that's when they show you love. Yeah. I held it down, girl, I was more than a friend. No, they can't even pretend that I was on the run. Yeah. I know this life knock you down, but you can turn it around if you just open up. Yeah. I got my head in the clouds, don't know when I'm coming down, baby, I'm on the run. Cop me a Benz, they only care when you win, that's when they show you love. Yeah. I held it down, girl, I was more than a friend. No, they can't even pretend that I was on the run. Yeah. I know this life knock you down, but you can turn it around if you just open up. Yeah. I got my head in the clouds, don't know when I'm coming down, baby, I'm on the run.
Alright, that will conclude today's fucking video. Hopefully you guys kind of picked up on some things. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the fucking next one.